And so Dweeb was gone, lucky blighter, and he left me and the rest of the band to live in the real world. Well, sort of. The bastard. After 2 weeks of incessant shelling, a sinister quiescence fell over the city.
Oi, dickhead.
Now, do you think you can stop reminiscing and get the bloody radio working, please? Pete! Come down!
Hey guys, Dweeb's got it working.
Shush, I think I've got
This is the
IWNS.
Independent World News Service, brought to you by the Coca-Cola Organization. The Northern State Forces have renewed their attacks on the
Reception's not good at all.
The allies of their former government and have taken control of the new republic are attempting to mount a rearguard defense. Attacks from the northern states are pushing them further into the capital, which has remained largely deserted since the People's League forced the population into the rural areas of the country. There is mounting concern from all those who have taken refuge in the Japanese embassy.
Hooray! Finally we
just
get a
had
mention.
an unconfirmed report. Yes, it appears the embassy has had a direct hit, and it is feared the inhabitants are all dead. The Japanese government planned operations to evacuate the embassy has been abandoned.
Oh, for bollock's sake! Whose side are they on, the bastards? Apparently we're all dead.
What?
Yes, we've all been killed, so they don't need to rescue us.
Great. I'll cancel my life insurance.
Cheap narrative device. And there were the gestalt creatures that travel in groups of no less than 3, sometimes 4. Bloody hell. Hello, yes. Oh, it's you. Yeah, another album. Well,
I know, but what can I say? People won't pay for music, so we just can't pay more for productions.
well, that's interesting, considering the amount of sales Oz made out of the last album I did for him. Anyway, I can't possibly do it for less.
Well, mate, I wish you all the best, but can't do it, boss. Maybe you should do a resurrection of your career.
That hideous prospect has been looming in the crevice that holds my worst fears.
If you do think of doing something, let me know. I could definitely get you some dates.
Yes, thanks. Well, I'll let you know. You see, all you need to do is appear unenthusiastic and full of your own bullshit, and suddenly the business takes interest. And as you probably guessed it, yes, it's time to put the band back together. Cuban music. Since I hid in the outer reaches of the music industry that remained invisible to the general public at large, production, I was able to sustain a reasonable existence.
Dreamy little don't be so blind. Open up your eyes. Look what's coming from behind. Look at the future, just look at the past. Get down and get ready. Well, you got to live fast. At the risk of your own life, torn limb from limb. At the airline.
I was quite happy hiding in the background, creating tracks for other artists, and residing in obscurity. But things were changing.
Shit, we better get going. That Devlin wanker Smith's just been gunned down.
Yes, things had got so bad, I was going to have to start performing again. Is there anything more depressing than dredging up those aged tunes, galumping around on stage in order for a few people who remember you to recapture their youth? I suppose there is the music as well. I reasoned whatever had happened to my creator, she didn't appear to be interested in the leftovers of her bizarre experiment anymore. Anyway, hunger and overdrafts are a massive incentive to risking a homicidal scientist's wrath.
Run that by me again.
Oh, well, depressing as it may seem, you're not actually talking to a human being.
Well, don't know you well, but you haven't stopped talking about yourself since we met.
Yes, sorry about tea.
Yeah. Anyway, go on.
Well, myself and my fellow reprobates were actually the product of some demented scientist called Professor Susan Howard Wen. Don't ask me why, she became obsessed with the music industry, back in the days when we had a music industry. Anyway, she felt her little science project had become perilously compromised when she created this numpty called Professor Dweeb, who in turn created me, and on and on and on. And she thought we'd better be got rid of. Rather a moot point given our current situation today. You sure I'm not boring you?
Can't sleep. I don't want to talk about important things, and I really have nothing to contribute, so you carry on.
Well, to misquote an infamous movie, when the going gets tough, the cowardly custards scarfer in all different directions. They had scattered after the kill order from Wen. The first member of the band, however, was relatively easy to find. The Nerdmeister series, my revered keyboard players, whose past crimes, when almost human, included creating a particularly vicious cluster chord in the midst of the biggest hit of the no-brow pop Tony the Iceberg in order to relieve the boredom when playing in his backing band. He ruined the whole performance. He ruined it. I mean, is he trying to make me look stupid? I'm not I don't look stupid, I don't. Immediately had them serving out a long sentence at one of the high-intensity Coca-Cola penal facilities. The relatives of the followers of the cult of Iceberg, who immediately went mad due to this adulteration, demanded the most extreme possible punishment. Nerdmeister's legal aid ran out midway through the first interview, but the judge was understanding, because he liked music, and showed mercy, commuting its punishment to life without the iceberg. When the wretched creature came into existence at the hand of Professor Dweeb and escaped the machinations of Wen, Nerdmeister created a brand persona and instantly came to fame as Slim Fast Joe. The first thing when I finally tracked them down was their appearance. It was a shock. They had completely changed since our last encounter. Into what? I couldn't quite tell. I'm not quite sure what they were going for with this new regeneration. Things seem to have worked out for them, though. But times change. Unluckily for this particular country, certain leisure activities no longer had any currency, something it held in common with the rest of the population. This was fortunate for me, though, as I'd never have got them back otherwise. I may have a gift for you, if you're interested. Thank you very much. We just want to do the next song, which is... Next was my old rhythm section. After extensive research looking on various websites, I found them. Again, they had totally transformed. It seems all the band were evolving, or mutating is perhaps a better word, and they were becoming more machine than organic, and sort of following along the same lines. Odd, really, because all the other members of my kind that I came across in my travels were trying to achieve the exact opposite effect.
City of tiny lights. Don't you wanna go? You're so big, it's so tight. Every cloud's a silver lining. The great escape over you. Tiny is as tiny do. Tiny is as tiny do. Tiny is as tiny do. Don't you wanna go?
So you up for it then? Great. I don't suppose you know where the others might be. Oh dear. Oh dear, that's going to be hard. So, what next, you might ask? Well, my target was the brass holes. Having pitched from grisly cruise engagements to jazz gigs, where they spent more getting to the venue than they were paid, they had finally succumbed to the expedient of... do I really have to say it?
What? Yeah, get on with it.
Musical theatre. Now, this may have proved tricky trying to get them back when they had a regular, well-paid gig. But then fate took a hand. I had nothing to do with this, honest. Two disgruntled stagehands, who had recently had their pay cut and seemingly on the spur of the moment decided to join the People's League, who apparently put them up to their next move, decided to express their anger at capitalist cultural imperialism. By burning down the theatre where the brass holes were currently engaged. Anyway, the important thing is I had my section back. So I only needed one final element to complete the band. The sirens.
Guys, those shots are getting closer. Do you think we should try and get out of here, maybe?
Hey, Pete, how's it looking out there?
Risky. Those kids are out for blood.
Right now, they seem happy enough to let us remain here.
I'm not sure I want to get caught up in the crossfire. Do you?
Okay, so we stay here for now, but I think we should be ready to run if that bombing gets any closer.
Anyway, so the sirens.
Jeez.
Come on, babe. Let's see what the food situation's like.
By the way, have you got that radio working yet?
I have.
Well then what the hell?
Unfortunately, the batteries are totally dead. Unless you happen to have some spares, of course.
Way to win friends and influence people.
Yes, well, I don't have a generator up my arse. Anyway, you want me to continue with the story? Yes, the sirens were more difficult to locate. They kept moving from one engagement to another. But I finally tracked them down in Enfield.
The controversial and occasionally reviled judge of no wit, no talent, Freddie Nomwit, was taken hostage today by members of the People's League.
But I provided thousands of hours of harmless, cruel entertainment. The people love me. They love me.
Sorry, you've been found to have no wit, no talent, and no more reason to live.
The leader of the PL, ex-leader of the RMT Cyril Rawlings, sent this recording to our studios.
Another fascist member of the established media has suffered the fate of all those engaged in the puerile decadence of the capitalist media. When the People's League rise, all such miserable examples of the entertainment world will suffer.
One of the sirens wasn't speaking to the other two over political differences. Now, I should have realised then that something strange was happening here. It was rare that beyond social media and signing online petitions and ranting on Facebook, that musicians wanted to engage in any form of direct action, but this one wanted to join the PL, and the others did not. I, of course, attempted to avoid all political
Oi, dickhead! Now, do you think you can stop reminiscing and get the bloody radio working, please? Pete! Come down!
Hey guys, Dweeb's got it working.
Shush, I think I've got
This is the
IWNS.
Out-of-World News Service brought to you by the Coca-Cola Organization. The Northern State Forces have renewed their attacks on the
Reception's not good at all.
Move them over here. 01 Agent Sarah. Mingle with them.
Right, shut up, all of you! Be quiet or we start shooting!
Bring that one over. And put the others in the re-education area.
Right, you heard what she said, move!
So,
Come on!
another symbol of capitalist propaganda. You must confess your guilt.
Oh, I thought I was a symbol of cultural imperialism.
You're not funny.
Yes, I've been told that before.
How did you come to be in the embassy?
We were hiding there.
Revolutionary Guard. Take him and play Bewildering Dilberries in Drunkard & Sons.
No, really, that's not necessary. I'm quite happy to cooperate.
Dilberries and Drunkard & Sons. Find someone to help us. Offer them leniency.
We want someone who is a technician to assist in operating a symbol of capitalist machinery. If you do help us, it will absolve you of your past sins of technological contamination.
You know I'm a genetic cyborg mutation, right? And presumably you're going to try and access my memory with this piece of crap that I'm attached to.
That's right.
Well then, why the FC UK did your moron just hit me?
Are you almost ready? Because I wanted to convince myself that you were real and that you actually feel pain.
Oh, thanks.
Shut up, you capitalist machine! I never would have thought our society would get to the point of such sickness.
Oh, I thought that was the whole point of your revolution. Lose, 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 lose. This is unauthorized Dweeb Droid unit, random access memory.
Can you run the memory with sound and vision?
That's the way it's been set up, as requested. You just press the spacebar.
No, I won't be touching that thing. You operate it. Okay, let's see what happened here. I think I remember this.
Everyone, step up. You are all prisoners of the previous age. You are guilty of decadent Western affectation.
We
and
can't
trap music.
understand you. Take the mask off.
Everyone, shut up! You are all prisoners of the People's League. You are guilty of decadent Western affectation and crap music taste. You will do as we say. Quiet! You will form an orderly queue and do as we say. The People's League has taken control of the city.
Oh God, anybody else? I blame TV talent shows myself.
Okay, everybody, remain calm. We have everything under control. I suggest you leave the building and we'll escort you to the safe area. Perhaps the band could play something as the audience leaves?
Seriously?
That was not a request.
Oh, okay guys, put your lives in mortal danger and play everybody out.
Not you, I want a word with you.
Oh, of course, naturally. Well...
We were tipped off about this raid. We think it was organised by someone involved in the concert. Did you know these people were going to try and take control?
Oh yes, of course. I'm always in the habit of inviting psychopathic revolutionaries to come up on stage whilst I'm performing.
You're coming with us, Sunshine.
Of course I'm coming with you, yes, okay.
Come on. Right. Stay here. Have to stop this situation developing into something like a full-blown civil
war. General?
Yes, Prime Minister?
Well, you're in charge of our military operation. What do you say?
Yes, let's blow them all up.
You would say that.
Just taking my cue from every popular media portrayal of the military, sir.
Really? Levity? At this juncture?
Well, we all need a laugh sometimes. These groups are not a military problem. They're a symptom of our society falling apart.
Great. Your degree in sociology is coming in really handy.
Sir, I'm merely pointing out that when the military is called in to regard the population we're protecting as the enemy, then I think we've already started down an inevitable descent into chaos. Basically, we'll do everything we can to stop the perpetrators of these acts, but they are growing in number and regularity, and tonight was the worst so far. Basically, we're already in a civil war situation. Oh yeah, that last bit didn't go down so well at Satat's comedy club.
Thank you, General. You've been really helpful in increasing our concerns.
Glad to be of service, sir.
Oh, really?
Perhaps I can explain. Sergeant Major.
Yes, General.
Sergeant Major, bring in that Singer creature thingy. I'm going to demonstrate why a military solution is an untenable hope. Now, believe it or not, you're looking at one of our best sources of intelligence.
Explain?
Well, sir, you recall that rather unfortunate episode with the DNA robotics division of Coca-Cola.
Operation Popsicle, sir.
Oh, yes. Popsicle. That was a bloody disaster.
Yes, it was, sir, yes. But it did have the slight upshot that some of Wen's creatures had nano-monitoring technology installed in their pseudo-lymphatic system. And you're looking at one of them.
So?
The creature developed an affinity with the PL.
I did not. I hate those bastards.
Okay, my apologies. One of you did. We've been monitoring her activities.
What point are you trying to make, Dyer?
That's my predecessor's nephew, Simon.
Yes, sir, I'm afraid it's everywhere, even here. Sorry about that, Prime Minister.
You killed Anderson.
She's been transmitting our discussion. I think we'd better get out of here, sir. Sergeant Major, you'd better kill the band, and then leave the premises and take your men to Op Center 4.
All right, well, Riley, dismissed. I'll see you at OC4.
The Big Funk Factory were my favourite band. When I was getting divorced, you kept me happy. I'm disobeying the director here. Get out of the city and find somewhere where that thing can't transmit, otherwise we're all in it. Now shut off and good luck, all of you.
What now?
Well, I think our reunion tour is over, don't you? Probably best if we follow different paths. It'll be safer. Hope you guys do okay. See ya. Maybe.
I don't like Dweeb Droid. Oh, shut up.
Such capitalist sentimentality. No wonder the government fell.
Project all completed. System analysis recommends temporary shutdown until diagnostics are completed. Automatic saving of data commences. Shutdown in 60 seconds.
Professor Susan Howard Wen, Mother Progenitor. Yes, you would deny me reconciliation. Looks like the last one. I guess I know what happened then.
Dweeb Droid, you come back in here right now. You came back. I wondered if you would.
Once they were children and they played. Now 10 soldiers, they believe. They're on a mission and declare. The terror of the children has arrived. Strike terror in the hearts of men. Remove the stains of what's before. So we do not transgress again. Yes, zero upon us once more. They are killing and they do not feel it's just a game and it is real. Society's poison is revealed. Their place in history is seen. Next generation, divided we're gone. Reclamation, all that is wrong. So remember you who were made these murderous reprobates. Maybe these kids will get ideas and turn upon their elder killers. Oh, they are killing and they do not feel. Remember, it's just a game, but it is real. Society's poison is revealed. Their place in history is sealed. Remember not to remember. Remember to forget. Unlearn all you have learned. Growing old, you should regret. Next generation, divided we're gone. Reclamation, oh,
Moody stuff, AWM. So this is a bit of a departure from your last album that gave us Baby You're Killing This Love. What made you choose this particular subject for an album?
Well, I was so moved by the situation in Middle England described in Frank Kepler's book Fading Dream that I decided to base my next album around the events he described.
And that's when you had an idea of a musical based on those songs?
Yes, the narrative seemed to come out, they're poked out from the lyrics in such a way that it seemed like a natural progression, and that's when I contacted Frank's people, and they agreed.
And what was his reaction?
Well, why don't you ask him? I'm sure I saw him wandering around the green screen somewhere. Oh, sorry if I ruined the introduction.
Well, it's too late now, so ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Frank Kepler. So, Mr. Kepler, how did you feel when AWM approached you to write a musical based on your book, Transaction Declined?
I thought he was completely mad. But eventually he wore me down with his endless calls. So I took a look at the music and lyrics he'd written, and I thought, well, maybe this could work.
How do you react to the criticisms that the musical is profiting from the war in the Middle England and it's insensitive to do this?
Well, people didn't think it was insensitive of me to write about my experiences there. And I wouldn't have got involved if I thought the musical was going to trivialise the events.
And if I could just jump in, Frank and I set up a charitable foundation for the refugees, and 10% of the receipts from the show and the sales of his book are being donated to that fund.
Talking about refugees, is there any truth that one of the sources from your book was actually a member of the now deposed People's League?
I don't know where you got that from, but it's a ludicrous assertion.
Well, it's time for some music, and bizarrely, don't all write in saying it's a fix. We have Tantric Twat, who've been climbing up the Oogle charts with their cover of Baby You're Killing This Love. And when we come back after the break, we'll hear some more from Frank Kepler's extraordinary story, Escaping from...
God, she's awful.
And obviously some of my music.
Where did you say you found her?
Give her a chance. She'll be all right.
Her notes are all over the table. She's reading from the damn script.
Well, she was dropped in at the last minute.
Dropped in? You mean you replaced a perfectly good anchorman with good numbers and forced her in?
Ah, he was a bore. And he was old.
Oh, maybe you're right. George was no spring chicken at 55. How old were you at your last 75th birthday?
Watch it. I know what I'm doing. It's my bloody network.
Yes, RP, you know who you're doing. What you're doing.
Not everyone can break the glass ceiling with a harder degree in media studies.
Low blow. Well, come on then. Let's see how your protege does for the rest of his shit show.
I should have known you imported some of your own DNA into the system. Want to live forever, eh?
Yes, with your original system, has been, and your memory print, and now me, it's sodding crowded in here.
And can you see me?
No, dummy. Those imbecilic hooligans have shot up the monitoring cameras, apart from the one that's installed outside, and that's corroded.
I can rig something up if you like.
Why would I want to see you, you ugly thing? Mother progenitor, you called me. Don't do that again. Why are you here?
I'm not sure whether you're aware of what's going on out there. It's a rather unpleasant world. I need certain things from you.
Before that, I need to brief you.
Really?
You read some of my notes?
I started to. Fairly ghoulish operation you've been running here. Mind you, why should that surprise me? Means justifying the ends and all that malarkey.
I found something, you see. It's important. Before my, well, I'll say it even if you won't, unfortunate demise, I sensed that you might return. Energy. I understand why you and the others ran.
You sound like some atheist evangelist. Hey, have you heard the good news about quantum mechanics? The point is, you had a rather nasty habit of expunging the remnants of your operations.
If you're talking of the destruction order on Droid, that was not my decision.
I seem to remember you issued the order and programmed it into my command circuit.
Coca-Cola had been ordered by the government to end the experiment. Apart from the rather meaningless rogue elements I created to be tested in the pop world, there were some other subjects who were rather more dangerous. I had to do what they wanted. Sorry, but I needed to be left alone to complete my main project.
This thing. Buckywall.
That's right. Now listen to me closely. I can only say this once.
And why are you running on backup power anyway?
Because it's long and boring and I want you to get out of here.
Charming, but not without my information from you. Go on then. Tell me all about Buckyball.
Okay. Here we go. 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 Here we go.
What's bloody happening? What's going on? I need to know what that thing was about to say.
I'm trying. I just have to turn it off and on again.
Where has it gone?
Sorry, I don't know.
Oh, you! Can you hear me? What was that thing about to tell you?
I can't help you, and I won't.
Clear this mess up.
We're back from our break with my two guests, AWM and Frank Kepler, talking about the recent collaboration about the troubles in Middle England. AW, am I right that you settled in the country about 4 years ago?
Yeah, when Red Freddy appointed...
Prince Frederick of England.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, after Red Freddy appointed the socialist government of Millicent Lawbin, and then Moyes and MSS basically intrigued on her removal and installed the extremely right-wing government of Macaroon, I could see things were going pretty badly and decided to hightail it out of there and emigrate here, which was a good thing too, otherwise I wouldn't have written the musical.
So Frank, how did you first make your way out of the country?
Well, myself and the other Western journalists were originally told we could leave. And then the People's League negotiated with the Japanese government. And then the People's League started to disintegrate. And so the Youth League regime...
A lot of leagues there.
Yeah, well, so the Youth League regime, they thought it was prudent to attack the northern states, who were originally their allies. And so the embassy we were in was attacked, and we were captured by Anshe Brett. And
Where's he going with this?
Since discovered, it seems that Coca-Cola's secret aid to the...
Damn it, fucking cut him off.
No, what about the music? Did you like AW?
Yes, sir, I understand we'll start the interview with me be.
To be honest, I have to admit.
I think that would be a mistake to do it at this stage, sir.
There were a couple of songs which I loved. And, I'm really pleased with his musical vision on this.
So it turns out you were right. Want to know what I found?
What?
A dead science sinner and her smashed up evil apparatus.
It's a shame you killed the computer geeks, isn't it? Maybe they could have fixed it for you.
You knew about this facility. Tell me what that witch was doing, and I might make your execution a little less of a necessity.
Oh, really now? But I'm a sinner. I remember a time before all the computers were smashed up. Ange, for the last time, think about what you're doing. You're unleashing a force that you have no control over.
I don't think you can give me much advice about that.
The kids, they have no compassion.
I believe the children are the state's future.
That's one Whitney song I won't want to hear again.
Tell me what the covered project was, and what is Buckyball?
Why do you care so much? The project is dead. And as for Buckyball, I've never heard of it.
So the project is dead, is it? I just destroyed a product of that project.
Oh, well, that saved asking pertinent questions then. As far as I'm aware, the army abandoned whatever it was that lunatic was working on, and then she disappeared, and then later she resurfaced as a consultant to the Coca-Cola R&D division.
And then?
And then, I don't know. And then the geek shall inherit the earth.
So you're another dead end then?
Hold on. What about me?
Can't kill you yet. The time isn't right. Soon. When the punishment squads are fully mobilized.
I see. There's a time and a place for genocide, but this isn't it. How did we get here?
I told you a marriage was out of the question.
Well, this is some messy divorce. Should have got a better lawyer. What are you looking at?
So you were discussing earlier your rival home. How did you manage to escape from the new government formed by Aunt Shay Brett?
Dangerous, Angela. We're veering back into stuff we should avoid.
And as I've mentioned before, we were
Did
being
you just tell me to fuck off?
One of the makeshift concentration camps.
The death zone, as it came to be known.
Well, yeah, if we need to pander to simplistic labels. I mean, Brett and her cronies claimed that they were centres for re-education. But as it became more desperate for the regime, she ordered the deaths of pretty much anyone regarded as an enemy of the revolution.
And they would be?
Well, pretty much anyone over the age of 21. Anyone connected to the past.
Yeah, and that's why I wrote my latest single, Only the Silent Survive, based on that chapter, which I...
Cut to camera 3.
Well, I mean, Brett was also holding captive the previous mini-dictator, her husband, Rawlings.
Yeah, talk about a marital tiff.
Angela, please shut him up.
The point is, myself and one of the other journalists who survived the attack, we've been held in the same place. Then came our salvation.
Is that a cue for my song then?
Jesus, what a fucking dickhead.
Get ready.
We'll let him have all those GD and Coke before the show.
After this break.
Well done, Angela.
Right, get in, stay there and be quiet. Lynette, we gotta check the other side. They're coming in.
What's happening?
The northern states, they're getting closer.
Stupid. I warned her.
You warned her. The way I heard it, you were all up for attacking them.
You heard wrong.
Well, this place seems dangerous. So, you up for trying to escape?
You want to take him with us?
Or what do you suggest?
Leave him here. I mean, he's hardly in a state for us to take him. You've had a penknife all this time?
A big deal. What, do you think I was going to take my Kalashnikov with this?
You know...
Stay down, stay still, no matter what they ask. You must feign incomprehension. No light, eyes closed, they must believe there's no discernible deception. Protect me from knowing I must have no past, no temptation to remember, no memories must last. My life is over, I must never be revived, lest it be the hope and joy of my end. For only the silent survive. I can't stay like this just another day, and I will find my own salvation. But if I slip freedom of my thoughts is the one unknown temptation. Protects me from knowing I must have no past, no temptation to remember, no memories must last. My life is over, I must never be revived, lest it be the hope and joy of my end. For only the silent survive. There's too many of them to escape. Right this minute, I am the one. The first time that this came clear, I realized I'm on my own. Protect me from knowing I must have no past, no temptation to remember, no memories must last. My life is over, I must never be revived, lest it be the hope and joy of my end. For only the silent survive.
So you managed to get away from the death camp with the former leader of the People's League. What then?
Yeah, that's tricky. I mean, my colleague, Sarah Ellis, my colleague wanted us to separate from him, and understandably so. I mean, we weren't important, but if Brett survived the attack on the base, then it was likely we would be killed if we were found travelling with him. I mean, even if she didn't survive. So, eventually, we made a decision. Not an easy one.
You know, we shouldn't be travelling together, but I am grateful that you allowed me to come with you.
Well, we probably wouldn't have got this far without you.
Can I ask you something?
Go on then.
Do you still think what you and your Confederates did was right?
We had no choice.
What? Killing people who didn't want to leave London?
Dr. Johnson was an arsehole. Do you not see where the real enemy was? That square mile of festering shit. And when the people finally rejected their political protectors and voted in Lorben, what did the club do but suspend democracy and replace her with that prize dick, Macaroon, and his city cronies?
Well, maybe. But Millicent Lorben wasn't exactly a lover of democracy. Well, look how she came into power. The puppet of a very unconstitutional left-wing prince.
Well then, how will we any different?
Yeah? How many people did you execute? How many since Brett's Youth League took over? Progress.
I don't have to justify anything. And I won't. We did what was right for the people. Seems like.
So, tell me, is it true you and Brett fell out over the Buenos Aires deal?
Yeah, my silly wife. Who'd have thought she was actually a bloody patriot? Imagine anyone still believing we should own this stupid island. They were propping up our finances and we were giving away some unobtainable oil fields and a hindrance to shipping.
And sheep. So she booted you out.
Typical cowardly tools of the state.
Once you split from Rawlins, how did you get out?
Well, my good colleague was extremely knowledgeable about the area and the locations of Red Cross bases on the border, so we made it out with relative ease.
That was fortunate.
Yeah, fortunate. That's the word.
Finally, you made a fairly clear assertion about Brett in the last part of your book, as we'll see in this clip from the musical.
Our values would be restored. A new world on the horizon. The costs are totally ignored. But utopia's whose paradise it is. Some will always lose. For what's life without freedom? Leaving nothing left to choose. So what's a revolution? Between a couple of friends. Don't look down, I'm feeling so high. Get just a little dystopic tonight. Who knows when our loving will die? We got the passion, we know that we're right. Then the others turned against them, and I looked the other way. For as the started it commenced.
Seriously though, how can you be certain about the Youth League's leader's fate?
Oh, I'm afraid that's a subject for another book, maybe.
You really won't reveal your sources.
I could, but then Cormacaula would have to come and kill you, and the audience and anyone else watching this.
You've been found guilty of crimes against the people. You're a traitor to the revolution. By unanimous decision of the Youth League Council, your sentence is dishonourable execution.
You little shits! I created you. You're my tools. I do not accept this.
Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. Thank you to my guests, Frank Kepler and AWM, and see you same time next week. Thank you.
When I found myself in prison, a victim of the system, my burden I will free. And in Alcatraz, he sang to me a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I will get back. With a little bit of this and a little bit of that, it's time to act. With a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
One day girl's legacy, she gave up this world in charity, the poor and needy in poverty. Last charitable will on earth, she suffered death in a grievous way, to be buried alive, her gift to betray, leaving with a fortune and a will on earth, no longer kept alive. Common love, a naive love, oh, of this world. A common love, a mistreated love, oh, brought down to earth. So they set about to remove her soul, to change this land and existence in whole, to get that money, find it in trust. Money may only ensure that last. I don't kill the goose that laid those pretty gold answers. You might be next. Who knows what you may revive from us? Common love, a naive love, oh, of this world. A common love, a mistreated love, oh, brought down to earth. Don't kill the goose that laid the golden eggs. Don't kill the goose, 'cause you might be next. Don't kill the goose that laid the golden eggs, 'cause you might be next. A refugees for playing the wrong chords. Latin fights can never be abhorred, and we're no longer accepted in the new musical accord. Refugees is all we are good for. Refugees, refugees for playing the wrong chords. Latin fights can never be abhorred, and we're no longer accepted from the new musical accord. Refugees, refugees is all that we're good for. Refugees, refugees is all that we're good for.
What the hell have you brought me?
We found him trying to escape through the city. They're tech musos.
Never.
Can I kill him? Can I? Can I?
You know, for a psychopathic revolutionary, you're disturbingly violent. I want to interrogate them first. Then I'll take care of the rest. Now, Rainbow, take Moonstone and check the rest of the perimeter.
Oh, that'll take ages.
Yeah, well, work before terror. Off you go. Go on now. Techno-musos.
We're not tech musos. We're fractal genetic hybrids.
And thus spake an ego of singers. Still speaking for the entire group as per. What the hell are you doing here?
Tape-to-tape recording? In space, they really can hear you hiss.
Yeah, they don't mind technology, as long as it's crap. I'm surprised this PL lot haven't embraced you more enthusiastically.
Funny. And do they know about your sinful past playing in a heavy rock band?
They think I was a pre-1966 Dylan tribute.
Because you look so much like him?
Yeah, for such paranoid types, they're extremely gullible. Anyway, you can talk. How did they discover you with that clever disguise of an entire band wandering around the city? But they won't be back for a couple of hours. Get out. Go off now. Oh, and thanks very much for leaving me behind in that crappy venue.
We had a better offer.
Yeah, how did that work out for you?
Come with us.
No, I'm good, thanks.
Suit yourself, long as it lasts.